Zero's the start button. Numpad's okay. Oh. Okay. All right. Well, this is Cuphead any percent. First things first, we got to talk to Grandpa Tea Kettle. I don't even remember what his name is, but that's cool. Yeah. So my time's gonna. So my estimation is actually, I didn't take that into consideration. So my apologies for that. Yeah. That's all it is. Dang. Just gotta do the tutorial real quick. Make sure that we remember how to play this game. Oop. No, we just gotta get that coin for the best weapon in the game. Then we'll head on out to the map. Heading out to the map and say hi to everyone. So we talked to this apple, who's a former adventurer. He gives us some coins, which we use to buy a gun. Which, there's probably a moral dilemma to that somewhere, because he did just basically enable us to quickly murder everyone else, but... And then we're just going to hammer on the Y button here, try and get the menu glitch, because there's a little bit of a weird delay that we otherwise have to sit through if we don't do that in the background. And then we're going to fight some vegetables.
This match will get red hot. It's on.
We're going to fight Potato, who I just always kind of call him a bean, even though he is very clearly a potato. And then an onion. Good RNG doesn't have 2 tiers drop on you there. You can just stand there and keep hammering, but that's fine. We can damage boost on this last stage now. And we can just take damage and keep going. And there we go. It's like a... Root pack's easy. Now the next boss is one that I don't normally die on, but if I'm gonna die on Island 1, this is the boss that it happens on. But I'm not gonna. This run's gonna be perfect. I'm gonna PB by like 15 minutes. Now we're gonna fight Ken and Ryu, but they've been turned into frogs for some reason. And this is the one that we want. We can do this really quick. There's 2 attacks they can do there. That one, dang it. That one is the quickest one. That one makes we just hammer really, just keep on shooting them while if they do that attack. Yeah. Wow. All right. Off to a great start, but that's okay. That's the only death we'll have. Deathless from here. My time consideration did take into account me dying there. And we can get this one in 1 second, which is what I was trying to do there when I died heroically. There we go. But if we don't get like perfect damage, we kind of have a hard time with, yeah. So 2 cycles, that's fine though. Makes the last one a little bit quicker. And there's a damage boost strat here where you can go inside of the hitbox of the slot machine here, but I'm not gonna try it because I haven't really gotten any good luck with it. Tigers. Now, ideally, we would get snakes here, because snakes just let you kind of just stand up close. We got snakes, okay. Go for the damage boost, I guess. When given the opportunity. Alright. And now we get to go fight a puddle of goop. And the story of this game is that Cuphead and his pal Mugman, they like to roll the dice. And they played craps with the devil, and they bet away their souls, and now they have to go around and just, in order to like save themselves from damnation, they have to go around and keep them. They have to like go around and take everyone else's souls in combat. They have to get their soul contracts. I've never gotten hit by doing that before. That's weird. I mean, that's fine, just because that's. But that's just really weird. Boy. The headstone actually does not have a hitbox itself unless it is like slamming down on you, so you can just kind of get up in there and get the full spread super. Everything good over there? There's a couple of stages in this game where you can use the explosions, because you normally if you use a super, use the pea shooter super, but you can use the spread super on bosses that will let you get up and personal in their face, whether it be through a damage boost or just like they do not have a hurt box. All right. Now, next stage is a little bit risky because we've been practicing this. There's 2 damage boosts you can do on this next stage, and I've been practicing them, and I can do them, and they normally go off without a hitch, but there is a risky chance. This is one of the few times I intentionally get down very low on health. This is Hilda Berg. There's one. Oh, alright, well, can't do the second damage boost. That's fine, the second one's always risky. Oh. Not count on her throwing that tornado. That's fine, though. And then she has a headache. And then whenever you have a headache, the next thing you do, obviously, is turn into a moon. That's unfortunate. I should have gone down. I was trying to get too much damage out. Well, we can show you the damage boost again. Nope. We can hypothetically show you the damage boost again. There we go. And these UFOs, the red ones, they fire when you go underneath them, and the yellow ones just fire randomly in the screen. There is a very tiny chance that the yellow ones will hit you when you are like right up against the wall. So there is a small chance of just getting completely beamed, but we didn't get that. That happens to me very rarely. Okay, well, as far as in-game time goes, that's actually a very quick. That's actually might be the fastest in-game time I've ever done with it. Anyways. Gotta loosen up a little bit. Now we're gonna go fight a flower.
Here's a
all right.
real high-class bout. It's on.
Now we really hope he doesn't crank. If he cranks, that just adds a lot of time on. We like to see that. That's the best ability. That's the best move for him to use. And the worst one's him for cranking. Oh. That's good. He might not crank. Don't crank. Don't crank. No crank. And there we go. Next stage. Nope. That's highly unfortunate. We got the no crank and then we still lost. This is a really rough island one, but we'll pick up the pace. And there's the crank. Just adds time. Alright. Alright. Thankfully, the last runner was a little bit ahead of their schedule, so I've got a little bit of time to work with here. I'm not happy with this, obviously, but I swear I did not get a super there. So yeah, the spreader does the most damage, so the spreader does the most damage, so we keep that except for when we have to fire the super, so at that point we will, you know, swap really quickly to the pea shooter and then swap right back. So a bit of a rough Cagney, but it's fine. We'll pick up some time on Island 2. Now we're gonna go talk to Mr. King Dice, and he's gonna tell us, "Hey, you're doing a great job," because we're doing a great job. And then Grandpa Tea Kettle will show up and tell us to do something, and then we're not gonna pay attention to him. Because this is any percent, not all bosses. So. Alright, now all we want is we don't want to get waffled. Getting waffled is bad. The muffin is also not great, because there are like, I believe 6 bosses that can come out of those gates. 3 of them are very fast, 3 of them are very not. Muffin is not very quick, but Muffin is relatively safe, so I don't mind it that much, given that I've been given my quality so far. But we just don't want Waffle, because Waffle is slow and Waffle is dangerous. Candy Corn is also kind of slow and kind of dangerous, but not quite as bad as Waffle. And there are only 3 bosses that actually do come out of the thing before we actually fight Miss Bonbon herself. And we got waffled. Unlucky. The only reason this one takes so long is because it has, like, when it's charging up that attack, you cannot hurt it, which is very frustrating and kind of counterintuitive, honestly. But we got it. So now we just gotta... Okay. Well, we got the 3 worst bosses we could have there, but we managed to pull it out. So, I'll take it. I'll take it. Yeah, with good bosses there, you can actually get that down to like a minute 15 pretty easily. Like you can get, if you get Gumball and Jawbreaker instead of I can't think. Sorry. If you get Jawbreaker and Bon Bon instead of Waffle and Candy Corn, you can make that really quick. We talked to this guy because he gives us an extra thing we can use for our plane, which is handy because it does a little bit more damage in a certain area in this boss right here, Jimmy.
Good day for us. Well done. It's on.
So there are three things he can do here. We just hope he doesn't do treasure. Okay, swords is the easiest. He can do swords, cats, or treasure. And I did get hit by swords just after saying it was the easiest, so I should probably stop jinxing myself. Now the reason we grab the bombs is because these faces, the Jimmy faces that show up here, do count towards the overall health pool of the boss that you're taking out of, and the bomb does a little bit more damage than the bullet would do. So you're making a little bit better time on this. And we go for both obviously for the same reason, because we want to do as much damage as we can. We'll swap back to the pea shooter. We'll fire off a nuke right, then. Yeah, fine. You can get 6 hits off of that, but it's kind of difficult. You have to be like really good on timing. The fourth shot is always a pink. Oh yeah, and I didn't explain the parry system whatsoever. Anything that's pink in the level that shows up, you can parry, with one very weird exception that shows up way later in the game. And if it's pink, you can parry it. If you parry a projectile, it will give you a super bar, a card in the bottom left, which you can see next to my health meter. And if you parry environmental object, it'll give you like I think it's like a 5th or a 4th of a super bar. So like there's going to be something in the next boss, Beppy the clown. He's got like a little roller coaster that you can parry, but it doesn't really give you, because it's part of the environment and not part of like a thing that can hit you. It's weird because the roller coaster can't, I digress. You can parry it, but it doesn't really give you much super. So yeah, since this is any percent, we're just getting this done as quickly as we can. So we're skipping all the running guns, which, yeah. And this is on current patch mainly because Legacy patch has a glitch that is really, you have to hammer the left trigger to do it. You can swap weapons because there are 2 weapons in this game: the rebounder and the lobber that do a lot of damage but have really low rates of fire. The weapon in the Legacy patch, you can get around this by swapping the weapon out like every frame. So you just have to hammer on the weapon swap button. And hold on. You can get through that by hammering on the weapon swap button, which resets the internal timer. We're really glad that we got this green horse here, because it can either be a green or a yellow, and the green does 2 cycles, yellow does 1, so we can do it in just 1 horse cycle. There's a lot going on here, so I'm kind of talking pretty quickly, sorry. And then we get the last stage. This is another one of those where it's like you can stand right in front of it, but it won't hurt you because there's other stuff in the area that's going to hurt you. So we can make pretty liberal use of the spread shot here, because the I think it's about like 15 more damage per shot for 15 more damage per super. I gotta shut up now, actually. Now that took some damage. Okay. There we go. A little bit harrowing there at the end, but we're good. So it's about, like, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, if you hit all 3 of the pea shooter supers, it's about 35 damage, and if you hit all 8 of the spread super bullets, you'll get, I believe it's like 40 or 50 damage. So yeah, you want to use that whenever you can, but you don't get a chance to use it super often, only on certain bosses. You'll be swapping, when you run this game, you kind of swap to the pea shooter super more often than not. All right.
Good day for us. Well done. Now go.
Now we're gonna fight a bird and his son. Now, a weird decision this game. I'm not even going to talk about that, honestly. It's because that phase of the fight is over. It's fine. I took that damage. It's not great, but it's fine. All right. And now here's his son, because this guy uses his big brain son to fight. Take a quick second to scratch my face there. Shoots a laser. We parry it. We got those eggs actually are. What happened? Does anyone have any idea what just happened? No, I don't think there's that. I'm seeing the stream layout. I'm seeing OBS. I mean, I can. It's weird. Yeah, if you would not mind. If you just tab. I got it. Okay, that's fine. A tactical death. There was some weird technical difficulty. That's why I died there. Listen, I died 5 times already. Those were my fault. Let Scott take 1. Okay, sorry about that weird glitch thing. I have no idea what happened. It was just showing me the stream setup that we have, and it's a little weird to play like that. So. Anyways, as I was saying, those eggs, you can see that I'm not really doing damage because those things there are some things in this game that you just cannot hit through, like they're like just impermissible. I don't know the word, but they are impervious to your bullets. Okay. And now the stretcher comes up here, and we really want him to go right because that lets us do a lot more damage. But if he goes left, we have a backup strat. One of the reasons that we picked up the little bombs. Because if he goes left, we can kind of just stay down here in the bottom and shoot supers, and then kill him. So, anyways, a little bit of a grim ending because those birds definitely are gonna eat him. Kind of bad to think about, but anyways. Right. Now we're on to the. I'm comfortable calling this like the hardest boss fight in the main game. It's one of 2, honestly, and the 2 hardest are back to back. And this boss fight was nightmarish when I did this when I played this game casually. This game took me like 12 hours. This game took me about 12 hours to finish, and this dragon was at least 4 of them. But Grim Matchstick has the best music in the game and has a really cool design and absolutely incredibly infuriating boss fight. There are many reasons for that. Because one of them is that these clouds are completely random in their spawns. So if you can just, there is a chance that you will just get bad cloud patterns, and there's really nothing you can do about it. You kind of just got to like play to your outs as best you can. I'm going to hang back a little bit because there's a tail that'll spawn in, and it lets me do some more up close and personal damage. And the tail tracks where you are at a certain point. So if you drop back a little bit, it will choose a much more lenient point to drop in on you. All right. Now, what's funny is there's a little dude with a hat there. That conductor hat actually does have a hitbox. So if you get hit by that, you will. If that touches you, you will take damage, which has cost me this fight occasionally when I forget that. Those guys just kind of have a completely randomized jump height. The only thing that the direction changes based on where your position is, but their height is randomized. I gotta make sure not to stand too close because his hitbox is actually really big there, or his hurtbox rather. Okay, now we just swap back to the pea shooter. This is one of the few times you'll actually just see me using the pea shooter out and out, because using the spreader is just a little bit too risky for my tastes. Hopefully we can get through this in one cycle, by which I mean before it does the flamethrower again. And come on. There we go. Yeah, that dragon is I lost so much time. Like even when I started like running this game a month ago, like that dragon took me like an hour just to relearn how to do it. Yeah, so I only started actually like speedrunning games and Sentence a month ago. It was part of my New Year's resolutions, and this was the game I chose. And my casual first run through was about 3.5 hours. Talk to King Dice again. He calls me Cupface. And then we'll skip another cutscene about the devil and King Dice scheming. And then we will fight the other, technically, possibly hardest boss in the game. Another one that took me an hour when I went back for my casual playthrough.
Here's a real high-class
All right.
bout. Now go.
Nope. And this one is also very hard because of the platform spawns. And I just walked off the edge of them. All right. That's fine. We had a really clean island too, so our island 3 is going to be a little messy probably. Just how the way the world is. Okay, shoot these worker bees, kill the cop. And we really want a specific... Okay, good. Now, this is a good pattern. A good pattern consists of this and one of her other attacks, because we get through this in 2 phases normally. The best pattern is another attack and then this one, because this one you can actually overload it with damage and just skip straight to the final phase of the boss, which is actually very difficult to damage because you have to shoot downwards. But if because we can front load a lot of damage into that when she drops the chain down and spits bees or bombs or what the hell ever. And as long as I don't beef it here. Oh, these platform spawns. All right, we're gonna spend a little bit of time on this boss, on this part. Ideally, that she can die in that animation. Okay, there we go. Yeah, she can actually die at the top of the screen there, and that's just the end of the fight, which is the ideal. But I didn't get enough damage to her in that when she threw the purple spheres at me. So it's fine though. We still managed to get it done. It's just that you can probably tell that last bit is pretty difficult to actually deal damage to. And I just realized I didn't tweet that I was actually streaming those. Oops. Oh well. Probably for the best that the people who watch my stream don't see this run. But you know what? I'm having a good time. We're all having a good time. And this is Dr. Cult's robot. It's the Iron Giant, and it sucks. This boss is another really big time sink. This boss is a run killer for people who are good at this game. We use the bomb here again because it can hit both the middle and the bottom parts at the same time. Yeah, there is a damage boost you could do there, but I don't trust myself on the last phase of this boss well enough to actually go for it. So, you know. And then, okay. Oh, alright, we accidentally pulled out a nuke, but that's fine. And now it's time for some bullet hell, which is not exactly my forte. I got a lot of friends who are really into Toho, but I don't understand how they actually play those games. Sorry, what was that? That's true. Video games are very gross. Listen, Todd Howard, the father of all video games, has said himself, video games are gross. That's why he just keeps releasing Skyrim over and over again. It's the only not gross video game, apparently. And this is probably my favorite boss in the run. The music is a little bit lackluster, but I just really love the whole design of her whole design and everything. Like her just the entire stage is great. Grab that for a free super. And now she goes off to get married, and then she lives in the suburbs with her husband. And there's babies. There's also robot mice for some reason. I think, yeah, those are mice. Which I really don't understand, but it's whatever. Oop. Oop. Then she dies. And then she becomes a god. Yeah. You're supposed... Yeah, that didn't go as intended. Okay. That was actually pretty quick on that. Now, as long as we just don't beef it in this last phase here. Which, as long as I'm careful, it should not be an issue. Ooh, that was weird. I was facing the wrong direction, but I had to do that super because otherwise I was going to run into that rose, and it would have killed me, and I would have been very sad. But we did it. That does happen occasionally, that you'll be aiming, looking one direction and shoot the super in another, which happens, I think, if you like turn on the exact same frame that you shoot the super. But oh. A lot of the stuff I actually know how to do in this game. I work for people over in the Cuphead speedrunning Discord, like people like Luigi100 and Jason, who are just really, really good runners. Luigi has like the world record in this category, which is like 35 minutes, if I'm not mistaken, loadless. There's also like the Mexican runner who, if you've watched the speedrun of this game, you probably know this. Mexican runner was actually at AGDQ this past year, or this past January, doing, I believe, Contra? I don't remember which Contra, but it was a Contra, and it was a really good run. But yeah, I really recommend checking out all of Mexican runners' runs. This is Werner Werman, who has the second best music in the game. Nope. I almost died there. Because that does have a hitbox when it's coming down, unfortunately, and I have died a couple of times just standing underneath there and taking the damage. I've also died a few times to that cat claw hitting me. Alright, there's Werner Werman. And we only have like 3 more bosses? No, 4, and then we're done. This run goes by so fast. Alright. This boss, I was practicing this boss a lot earlier because this boss normally doesn't cause too much trouble, but there's bad RNG that can give me a bad time. I have no idea what that thing he just pulled out is. I spend a lot of my time thinking about what that thing possibly could be. Okay, that's weird. My super did not come out there. I did the animation, but nothing actually came out. That happens sometimes, and I really don't know what causes it. Good. There's three moves that can come out of that. One is a shark, one is like little piranhas, I think, and the third is a squid. And the piranhas is really bad on time because the piranhas just like they sit it right at the front. We might be able to see it here. Nope. Got the double shark. That's really good RNG. And his boat says, "I don't need you anymore, Captain Briny-Beard." And then his boat does a thing. Then we just parry this thing, and we get a little bit of super. Alright. Okay, so good to know that boss did not bean me like it had been in practice. All right. Now we just have Miss Calamaria and the Spirit Tracks. I actually genuinely sometimes forget what that one's called. It's a ghost train. Well, despite a really, really rough Island 1, this has actually been a pretty good run. I'm pretty happy with how it's turning out.
Now go.
Bless you. Oh, well, I jinxed it. It's really important to not lose any health in these first two stages of this boss fight because you can just get completely... You really want 3 health going into the last stage because you can just get completely, like, robbed of a run by something that you really can't handle, and that's bad. Alright, we're going to have to play this perfect. Because she can turn you into stone, and then you don't really have the ability to dodge the attacks that she throws out. So we try and get out over them before she can actually shoot them, but it normally happens in the same, like, motion that she shoots at the... Nope, not today. Ooh, that was very close. Yeah, that was a nail biter. If she didn't die on that hit, I probably was dead. Okay. Now we just got to go to Phantom Express and then King Dice. And King Dice is weird because King Dice has a really unique mechanic in that you actually don't fight King Dice until the very end. You have to fight a certain amount of mini bosses in before that. And King Dice isn't hard. The mini bosses aren't hard. The only thing that's hard is the selection process. It's very easy to accidentally just destroy, just like beat yourself with it. You gotta shoot these pumpkins out of the air because otherwise they will drop bricks on the pink things here and send you to the sides that you don't want to be. So we follow the head here, and we take damage that we didn't mean to. Okay, that was very close to just being catastrophic. But let's see if we can close this out here. These things are other things that do not actually... Okay, I gotta play this a little bit safe because... There is actually a little, like, safe zone you can kind of hang out in if you, like, just to the left of those things while they shoot their lightning, but to get over there is a little bit tricky, so... All right, now that's a perfect... Did I die at that? That was a perfect Island 2, or Island 3. I've never managed to do that. So that was weird. That never happens. I'm never good at this game. So let's just go fight King Dice. You'll see what I mean when I talk about when I talk about the quote selection process for King Dice. Oh, I gotta sit up straight. Alright. So we want to go for 2, 4, 8, and then the end. So I've gotten way better at it, but I have lost so many runs just rolling the wrong number and fighting a boss I have not practiced against. Which is it's a very embarrassing way for a run to end. Or for a run to be lost. That's fine, take that hit. Oh, that was pretty quick. Alright, then we'll get the 4 to fight the dominoes. A good time for King Dice is like sub 3. Like a good time is like 2:30, but I really can't do that. So like a good time for me is like sub 3 minutes. Yep. There we go. I really like their death animation of the bottom die just kicking the top one, or the bottom domino just kicking the top one in the head. Alright. Now we just gotta roll 3, a 2, a 2, and a 2. And then we're done. I did roll a 1 there, but that's fine. That'll happen. What even is on 5? Is that the roulette wheel? No, it's the rabbit. Alright, well, just a 2, a 2, a 2, and a 2. That's all we need. Get on the safe space. And then we'll fight the comically easy one. Like, I've died to this once. Ever. Now we just need a 2 and a 2, and we can kill King Dice. King Dice is just comically... It's weird how... I mean, I guess it's intentional, but King Dice is just comically easy compared to the rest of this table. You can see a start over key there, so if I do roll a 3 here on accident, we're in trouble. But we rolled a 2. We're fine. Really pretty easy to 1-cycle that, or 2-cycle that, but whatever, I'll take it. And that's the run. Now we have to go to talk to Mr. Devil himself. Yeah. Without that detour onto the fighting the rabbit, that would have been actually a really good King Dice, because that's sapped like 40 seconds off of us. So we're gonna go talk to Mr. Devil, and then we're gonna do the bad end. And then we give him the contracts. And that's the run. And then we get a nice little end shot of the Devil Cups because they sold out their soul. Yay! thanks to Rochester Speedrun for having me, and this Cuphead speedrun community. Yeah, thanks for watching. All right.